Hello everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VII. And I've been busy. I've been very busy. And I'll show you why. So I left off with a few things that I plan to do. First of all, let's see. Yeah, I'll show you right now. So remember I left you off at Midgar where I was gonna buy an item and I needed money for it. So I sold some materia. I had a couple extra of the fully maxed out materia. All materia sells for like 4 million, so that was good. Anyway, what I got from that guy is something that helped me out. I believe yeah, the sneak glove increases stealing rate. That's very important, so I got that. Now let me show you what the ultimate goal here is. I believe it doesn't show up on the map. But, let's see, it's going to be in one of these corners. Is it not this corner? Not this corner. Not that corner. Where is this thing? No, that's not it. Let me look for this thing. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Alright, so there's this area here, and there's a cave. However, there's all force and we cannot land on this. See? So, the ultimate goal was to get here. How do we do that? Well, I will begin you on the process. So, getting the sneak glove, it's optional, but it'll help. And here's what you want to do with it. First, let's go to this northern continent. Alright, and let's find an enemy. There's a specific enemy I'm looking for. Okay, here it is. Now this enemy is called the Lacurados. It doesn't do that much damage, but it has the highest HP, I believe, of any random enemy in the game. And I don't have it equipped for you. You want to steal from this guy. And it helps if you have the sneak glove, of course, but I don't have a steel material equipped, but trust me. Steal from this guy and you'll get a carob nut. You want to get 3 of these. So that's to start out. So let's just kill him off. Yeah, see how much HP this guy has. And I had to fight against one of these at the Gold Saucer Arena, the Battle Square, and that was not fun because like I had like a broken sword and I was in the back row and it was just not a good time. This guy takes a long time to kill, but kill him we can. So steal 3 carob nuts. Easy enough, with the sneak glove, with the good steel materia equipped. Alright, next, we want to go this way. Remember where we learned Goblin Punch for our enemy skill materia? Well, we want to run into a goblin again. And these ones, you can steal from them, I believe, but they can also drop randomly, so that's good. So yeah, run into some goblins and try to steal from them. But if you can't get the item, then most likely it'll just drop. So don't worry too much. Let's see if I got it. If not, then I'll just tell you. Yeah, you get 1 Zeo nut. Just 1. There's no other... the carob nut, you can actually get those for GP at the Gold Saucer. But I figure stealing them is easier and cheaper. Okay, once you have those, and remember I rented out the chocobo stable, so you want those rented out. Next step. You're going to want to go to the Gold Saucer area. Yeah, I did all this off-screen because it would have taken too long. And what is that weird thing right there? That's interesting. I'm not gonna deal with that yet. Anyway, go to the Gold Saucer area, and there are these chocobo tracks. But yeah, this took me about a day to do. It's a few hours. And if I had tried to do this on screen, it would have been like a couple minutes on screen and then like about an hour of me just doing stuff and then another couple minutes of me recording, and it just wouldn't have been worth it. I could just show you because there's nothing too exciting you missed. Anyway, you want to go around here to catch a chocobo. And you want one that is with two... what's it called? Oh, what's the thing called? It has a weird name. Two, like, weird crawly thingies. They can, chocobos can either appear with, like, a chimera, two, flying dragon things, and then two squirrely, crawly things. I might put their name up on screen, but you want to catch a chocobo with two of those. Alright. And then you want to go to the Medial area. There are chocobo tracks here. You want to catch a chocobo here that's with one or two enemies that are called spirals. So make sure to do that, and I would show it off, but the thing is, the encounter rate for these are pretty low. It takes a while, and yeah, you can figure it out. It's not exciting. It's just you've seen me catch a chocobo before. So just I would use Mimet greens. Those seem to be the best ones. Yeah, these ones right here. I bought 10 of them, and that would keep the chocobo distracted for long enough to kill the enemies and get it. So get one of each from there. So yeah, get one for the gold saucer area and one for the Medial area. Then you're gonna come back here. And those two chocobo will be in the stall. Now I want you to save before you do this, because you need them to be specific genders, and the gender of the chocobo, like for the game, isn't decided until they are brought inside. So I do have some chocobos, a little bit of a spoiler, but oh well. And what you'll pick is moving chocobos, and so you'll have two different chocobos to move. Now the one you got from the gold saucer area will be a good chocobo. You'll want that to be a male, so he'll say this is a good chocobo, you want to move it inside, you say yes, and then you're like, okay, what do you want to name this male or female chocobo? If it's female, restart and try again. Then you want to move the other chocobo in, and it's going to be a great chocobo, you need that one to be female. Alright? So after you do that, you get both a male good and a female great. You then need to feed them a little bit. Now feeding chocobos, well, you use greens, as you can see, so the same things that you use to help catch them. You want to use Silkus greens, use about 5 for each of them. What that will do, that will up their stats, it'll up 4 stats. There's stamina, speed, intelligence, and it's something about getting along. This is for chocobo racing. So let's now do some chocobo racing. You then want to race them because every chocobo you catch will start out as Class C. So I'll meet you at the gold saucer now. Oh, and here's something I've been meaning to show off. Every so often when you come to this area, you'll see a guy standing back there. This is unrelated to the chocobo thing for the most part. But it says, hey, how about change your guild to GP? You can actually buy GP from him, but one guild is 1 GP, and you can only buy 100 GP at a time. So it's really not worth it. What I'm going to be doing right now, and then once you're done talking to him, he disappears, and then you have to kind of respawn him again. He doesn't come every time. But we'll get plenty of GP from chocobo racing. So if we go to square here, you talk to Esther, and you want to race both your good and your great chocobos. You'll have named them so you know who they are. And they'll start at C class. Once you win 3 C class races, they'll go up to B. And you just want to keep them at B. Don't raise them up anymore. You can if you want, but it's not going to be worth it, and it's going to be hard because they're not great. Like, once you start getting out to the upper classes, it gets harder. But, should I show off a race? Because I don't want to spoil anything. Anyway, I'll just tell you right now. So, what you want to do is then you want 2 breed them. So go back and you choose both of them to mate with each other. You want to feed them a carob nut. Now, you want to save before you do this. Once you mate them, you will either get a green or a blue chocobo. So once you get a green or a blue chocobo, then you want to mate them again. But in order to do that, you actually have to wait a bit. You have to fight like 10 battles before they'll be able to mate again. So once you do that, mate them again, and you want to get the different color chocobo. So let's say your first chocobo was a male green. You then want to get a female blue, or if you start out with a male blue, you then want to get a female green, etc, etc. You want them to be opposite gender of each other. Then those two chocobos, you want them to race. You want them to get... first you want to feed them Silcus greens, and I actually maxed mine out. So just, yeah, keep feeding them, and like it took like 50, 60 Silcus greens each to max them out. It was kind of crazy, but either way, I did that, so I got their stats up, and then raced them, and I got them both to S-Class. You only need to get them to A-Class, but if you get them to S-Class, that's even better. Then you want to mate those two. Now there's another thing. When a chocobo is newly born, it is not ready to mate yet. So you have to fight about like 10 to 20 battles just to get them ready to mate. So mate the green chocobo with the blue chocobo. Now there's... oh, I almost forgot to say. It's, well, I'll leave that for later. There's some special things that the green and blue chocobo can do, but if you mate them both together, then you get a black chocobo. And once again, you want to get that black chocobo up with Silcus greens and race it up to S rank. Now let me show you a race. So I have my chocobo here, Dusk, that's what he named it. And he's an S rank. Now, you have two different courses you can pick from, short or long, and it does not matter. A short course, like, the only thing that changes is that, you know, the length. And you pick short if you just want to, like, if you're better at, like, you know, sprinting, and long if you're better at the whole, you know, long distance stuff. I'm gonna go short. I haven't shown that one off yet. Now, of course, there's a little trick with this. So you start out, and there I am, and there are the prizes you can potentially win. Cat's Bell is a item you can only get from racing. There's also materia they can only get from racing. Now, top speed 133, that is very good. Stamina maxed out. But what happens when you have to get first place, and then one prize is randomly picked. Yeah, Cat's Bell, you can only get that from here, and if you have it equipped, when you walk with it, you actually regain health. So when you're walking around, your HP goes back up. So that's pretty cool. But you can also get GP instead. So, like I said, there's a little trick I do with this. If you press L1, R1, L2, R2 all at the same time while racing, your stamina actually regenerates itself. Now, in the Steam version, these buttons are called page up, page down, camera, and target. So make sure you know what those are. Mine are at home and page up and page down. So let's start. So you press X to sprint, and you press switch to, or you press OK to sprint and switch to just like run faster. But let's get this started, and I'll show you how good I am. Oh, and this guy with the hat, he can be a douche, because he is... oh yeah, you see how fast these chocobos are? This is S-Class, but look at mine. Mine is still pretty good. So my stamina's going down. Oh, I forgot to switch it to manual. Okay, now let's see my stamina's going back up. Oh, but they're still getting ahead of me. Maybe my black chocobo isn't up to this. But this is racing in a nutshell. Wow, this went by fast. Wow, that was terrible. Okay, so my black chocobo isn't up to the that, but you can see like how yeah, they're very fast. It's the first one I've done, but then it'll pick a random thing. Yeah, I would have gotten the Cat's Bell if I'd won, but I probably would have just exchanged it for GP. But yeah, I lost. But yeah, that's race in a nutshell. And that's my black chocobo. Super fast, but still not up to the task. Oh well. But it's easy enough to get it to S rank, but beating actual S rank races, not easy. So how will we solve that? Okay. So get your black chocobo up to S rank, but there's one more chocobo you'll need to catch. Okay, so here we are back in the northern continent, and there's one more chocobo you need to catch, and I can't, I'm not gonna land. Yeah, you need to catch a chocobo here. The chocobo needs to be with either 1 or 2 hoppers, which are the bunny enemies. So just 1 or just 2 and nothing else. You need to catch one like that. But once again, take it over to the ranch. And it's going to be a wonderful chocobo, and it needs to be the opposite gender of whatever your black chocobo is. I hope you're following all this, because this could be used for a guide, but it is kind of complicated. Alright, so yeah, make sure to catch it. Make sure it's the opposite gender of your black chocobo. Once again, pump it full of Silka screens to max out its stats. Have it race up to S rank. Then you want to save. Then you want to mate your black chocobo with that wonderful chocobo. And what happens? Well, first let me show some things off. So let me ride a chocobo. And let me ride my blue one. Now, what's so special about having a blue chocobo? It can go into the water, but only the shallow water. And this can be used to actually cross rivers in places where you couldn't previously. But, and I could do that right now, but I'll leave that in a second. Next, we have the green chocobo. Now, the green chocobo can't go into water, but what it can do is go over mountains. And once again, that can get you access to places that you couldn't before, because remember, the airship can only land on grass, and so if there's an area that's blocked off like that, then, well, you're kind of screwed. But remember, we need to get to that island that's in the corner of the map, and we can't get to it with either of these chocobos because we can climb mountains, but we can't go across deep ocean. So what happens when you have the black chocobo? Well, first of all, it can go into water, but still not deep water. What else can it do? It can also go up mountains, so it is a mixture of both of those chocobos, but that's still not enough because we need a chocobo that can go anywhere. So what happens if you mix the wonderful chocobo you got from the northern continent with this black chocobo? You get a gold chocobo. And oh, I almost forgot, make sure to use your Zao nut instead of the carob nuts. You get the 3 carob nuts for the 3 matings you do, but this one needs the Zao nut. So of course, it can go up mountains. And of course, it can go into the ocean, but wait a minute. Yeah! It can go anywhere. Nothing freaking stops this chocobo whatsoever. So this is a wonderful chocobo to have. And if you want to get your chocobo somewhere quicker, just go into the airship, and that's why we have the chocobo corral in there. So what does this all lead to? Well, there are some places we can access now. So let's see. Let's start off, yeah, I think it's over here to start. See, there's a cave over there, but there's no way I can land on it. However, if I have a blue chocobo or a black chocobo or this golden chocobo, I can go right over. There's a cave here. What do we find? Over the course of many years, Mako energy crystallizes into materia. So that is the HP MP switch materia. It makes it so whoever equips it, their HP and MP switch. So if you have like 300 max MP and like 5000 HP, you'll now have 5000 MP and 300 HP. So not one I'm going to be using, but that's interesting. So what's next? Alright, so here I am near Middeal, if you can see me in the very far east. And for this one, you need a chocobo that can climb mountains, because as you can see, there was that little gap there, and there is another cave here that you can't get to otherwise. So what do we find here? course of many years, making energy crystallize into materia. Quadra magic. So let's check out what quadra magic does. Let's see how everything is going to be the bottom, probably. Paired magic used 4 times. I don't believe that works with summons, just with just regular magic spells. But yeah, that is quite the materia. So what's next? So you can see there's a cave here, but it's pretty much locked in. It's surrounded by a mountain and ocean. So let's hop on our gold chocobo here and just climb on up here. So what do we get from this one? We get the mime materia. Pretty much that means when you have it equipped, you get the mime command. What it'll do is it will repeat the action of the last person who acted. So whatever they did, if it's a summon, if it's a magic, if it's an attack, a heal, they will do the exact same thing. So now there's that one final cave. Is it really worth it to go through all this trouble to get to that cave? Well, there it is, and the only way you can get here is with a golden chocobo. So let's check out what's inside. Over the course of many years, Mako energy crystallizes into materia. Received Knights of the Round materia. The best summon in the game, and the most overpowered materia you can possibly have. And I'm not going to be showing it off this episode, nope. Because I want to show it off for next time when I do something special. Because I'm going to be using it for the super hard optional bosses that are coming up. Anyway, so yeah, that is the sole purpose of getting the gold chocobo. Well, that, and also this chocobo can race like crazy. I'm going to level it up with some Silka Screens to max, and then we'll see how it can race. Alright, so here's how I feed it up. And you have to pick the amount and it just kinda goes up like that. And there's no real way to check your chocobo's stats. So you don't know when it's maxed out until it kinda says it's maxed out. But if it just says it's getting along better, then don't bother feeding it more, because that just means that you can ride better with it on manual, but that's not really that important. And if it just says no change, then that means you've already maxed it out. So I bought 20 Silka Screens, gave it 19, and if I give it one more, either it'll still say stamina up, or it will getting along better? Okay, good. It's pretty much maxed out exactly how I want it. Oh, by the way, I named it Stanley because that's the name of my chocobo in Final Fantasy XIV. So yeah. So let's go back to the gold saucer now. Actually, there is one thing I want to show off. And why don't we fight this snake here that was bothering me so much earlier in the game? Oh, I forget to equip the actual thing I needed. Whoops. Okay, let's try this again. I have yet to show off Typhon. So let's see what Typhon can do. It's the first time I've ever actually had this materia myself. Oh, and it looks just like Typhon from Final Fantasy VI. That is awesome. Forgot about that. And Typhon's also a boss fight in Final Fantasy XIV, so that's fun. Typhon and Ultros, of course. Oh, that's so satisfying. Alright, now I'll meet you back at the gold saucer. Alright, so let's enter a race with my superior gold chocobo, which I believe will have the best stats that any chocobo can have. So it's gonna be a C rank, so this is... oh my gosh. So let's check this out, and I'm gonna show off the long course. Just for fun. Just because it's, you haven't seen it before. 152 kilometers. That is 21... I think 21 more than... or 19. Yeah, 19 higher than the black chocobo. This is a crazy chocobo. So let's check out the race. See how well I do. Yeah, did you see that? See, and I wanted tranquilizer, great. But that's okay. So, you win. And I want GP. So I plan on racing that chocobo up to S-Class, and if you win 10 S-Class races, you can actually just get all 3 prizes every time. So that's cool. So there's one more thing I want to show off, since you can win lots of GP through that. Let's go up here and see what prizes are available. 2,592 GP. So you get some prizes here. So there are the 3 mystery prizes. I already got one that was worth 1,000, and that was the Gil Plus Materia, meaning you get more Gil. This one that's 500, that will give you a carob nut, so instead of stealing them, you can buy 3 from here. What's this 2,000 GP one give you? Experience Plus Materia. Can I get more than one of those? Yeah, I thought not. Oh well. So I'm not sure if that works for just the person that's equipped to, or for everyone. Let's check that out. See, more experience points. So yeah, I'm going to be using that for grinding off-screen. But still, we did see that weird squirmy thing outside the gold saucer in the desert. What was that, and can I deal with it? Well, I'm just gonna have to find out next time on Let's Play Final Fantasy VII. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.